inside. It's time to reveal the main and important part where Toyota Venza designers have messed up big time. Welcome to Drive with Didi. Today I'm going to take you on the tour of this 2021 Toyota Hybrid XLE Venza. So if you guys are ready, I'm going to take you on the tour. But this tour is going to be a little different from our regular tour. Today I'm going to talk about the positive and the negative part of this Toyota Venza. I've been driving this Toyota Venza for past 3 months. I had some good experience, some bad experiences, and I'm going to share all of them with you. So if you guys are ready, let's hop and start the tour. So this Toyota Venza has a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine paired with 3 electric motor. 2 are in the front, 1 is in the back, and which produces roughly 219 horsepower. This power is just adequate. If you're merging on the highway, you have to push a little harder when you're merging on the highway. That's about the engine. But if you are talking about the mileage, this gives you some great mileage. So I have been averaging roughly 5.2 to 5.7 per 100 kilometer on this Toyota Venza, which is really good. So if you're talking about gallons, so that was like 39 miles per gallon, 40 miles per gallon. That was my average on this Toyota Venza. And then looking at this front profile, this is really beautiful looking car when you're looking at from the outside. So look wise, I give literally 10 out of 10 for this car. This has got really unique look, and if you look at this sculpted sides here, this gives really beautiful look. To me, from this angle, it looks like a Lexus. And these tires are 19-inch tire. The wheels also look really good. You got this hybrid badge on the side. Your mirrors have the turn indicators here. You got the blind spot monitoring right here. And this is the worst blind spot monitoring which I have ever seen. The only thing you get here is like a blinking light. So this light, if someone is in your blind spot monitoring, this light would just blink and nothing else. It won't make any sound. So if you are in, like, most of the time when you're using blind spot monitoring, it is to save the accident. But this blind spot monitoring just blinks, and there is no way, if you're not paying attention, you will miss that accident. So chances of getting accident is 100% if there is no sound which is beeping. Otherwise outside it's really good. The fuel tank which is here has a 55 liter capacity. During the night time, this whole area, the tail light area, illuminates, and that LED line which you see on the top gives really beautiful look during the night. Your turn indicators are located right here, and your backup light is also located here, and this is where your backup camera is. This has really nice height if you look at the car on ground, from the ground, and from the back also it looks really beautiful when you're looking at it. You got 2 exhaust tips right down there. And that's pretty much about this Toyota Venza. Now let's hop into it, and I'll tell you about the positive and the negative parts about this Venza inside. So we'll start from the trunk. So to open the trunk, you can press this button on the key fob. There is a button by the driver's side which you can open, and if you come down here, there are 2 buttons located here. So one, I can't show you, let's see if we can go down there. No, it's so hard to see. So one button, if you push, your trunk will open. You can just look at this, and this space is barely adequate. So if you have a bigger stroller which you want to put here, it's not going to be enough. Just to give you an idea, like these 2 milk, you can basically fit 6 milk cartons here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you might have barely some space in this area. That's pretty much. So you got a spare tire underneath. If you need to store something, you can definitely store some items here. So you can just look at this area. You can definitely store some things here. You got your 1 subwoofer which is right here. You can, this sound system is really nice. So if you like to listen to the music, This is going to give you really nice punch for your music. Plus you got your shade. If you have any items you want to store in the back, hide it from everyone, you can just definitely store it. Another negative point which I want to talk about here is if you want to fold the seats flat, you can't do it from anywhere here. So see, there is no button in any of the side where you can store it. Also, if you take this out, the cover, there is no other storage space where you can store it. Folding the seats is really easy. If you just lift this lever, let the seat go, you can fold it that way. This will give you an idea as to how much storage space you can have, but this storage space is not enough. Also, the loading height from the ground is really high. You have to lift your stuff to push it in the car, not car, actually back of the trunk. So overall, in my comparison, if you have a family of 4 looking to keep a stroller in here and you need a lot of space, this back space is not useful. If you have a stroller in here, you can barely fit a lot of grocery in here as well. So I'm going to close the trunk. That's it for the back area. Another thing which I want to tell you is this 2 buttons. So one is just to close the trunk, and one if you want to lock the whole car. So if you press this button, move back, there are 2 distinct sounds which the car will make, just to make sure it's been locked, and it will lock automatically. And once it's locked, you will see the flashing light, and the mirror will fold automatically if you have the setting turned on. If it's not, the mirror will just stay like that. So you got your backup sensors right here. So if somebody is in your back, or if you're backing up, this happened to me 2 or 3 times, the car just braked for me automatically and it saved an accident. So this function is really good. Here, let's talk about the second row now. So to get into the second row, if the car is locked, you just go in, and if you have a key in your pocket, just open the door. Simply it will beep and the door will open. So to notice the one thing here, the car door doesn't open really wide. Let me show you from this angle so you will have an idea. See, it's not wide enough. So if you're carrying a kid and you want to put him in his child seat, this is going to be hassle. Also, when you put a child seat in here, there is not enough space. Like, the child's leg will always hit against this. Another big drawback, I have to show you from another side. So now that we are here, let me show you. If you have a child seat attached, the big drawback is going to be having this seat belt in here. So when I had 2 child seats here, it was so difficult for me to find these hooks and get the belt in there. This is not convenient at all. If you have 2 kids who are in a big child seat like this, this is the most useless thing for them to be in here. Also, see, I can't even drop the armrest, and the child seat is like completely towards the end of the seat. So this is another drawback. If you're looking for more space in your car, this car is not going to be the best for the family of 4 with 2 kids. Also, in the back, there are 2 vents here, and you got 2 outlets down there for charging your devices. For kids to access those outlets, it's going to be the nightmare. It's so difficult even for me. I noticed it after almost a month or so that, oh, there is an outlet there so I can charge my phone. Useless design in the back seat of this car. Seats are comfortable, but if you're a family of 4 with 2 kids, this is going to be the most useless space for you to spend your time. That mesh you see, the battery is under the second row seat. So I'm going to hop into the second row and I'll show you how much space is there in the second row. And you can see how much space I have. See, that's like a 4-finger only, barely 2 inches of leg room. My legs are really nice and flat. There is no hump in here, but there is a big hump here. So if you have anybody sitting in this second row, 3 people, it's going to be really difficult. The view which I get for the cabin is really nice. Closing this door, you get really strong feeling that door is made out of the good material. The material here is in really soft. You can look at the stitching, the beautiful use of this strip lining material, which also resembles to your speaker and also resembles for the outside of the car. You got your window controls here, and that's pretty much about the controls in the back. Now that we have seen the second row trunk space, it's the time to discover the first row, but we will start with the passenger side for the first row. So the good part about this car, the passenger side seat is really comfortable. That's the only comfortable place in this car. So you got power adjustment for your passenger seat. The seat is heated as well as cold, and look at this beautiful stitching on the seat. This is the only beautiful part in this car, that this beautiful stitching. They made it to resemble all the things. So you look at this stitching material here. The pattern on the speaker is the same, as well as the pattern in here. This material is really nice and soft. Look at the contrast material they have used here. So this is a real metal. To give it a premium look, they have used. This is a shiny material which they used here. I'm not a big fan of it, so if I'll tell you in a second why. So the stitching in this area is also good. You get a decent size glove box here. So let me open it. You get a decent size glove box. There is no illumination light in the glove box. Look, this material is also so good. This is all look like a cloth material. This soft touch material. This is a hard touch material here. And look at that metal part here again. So that's pretty much about the passenger side seat. Hey, now that we have discovered the trunk space, second row and passenger side, it's time to reveal the main and important part where Toyota Venza designers have messed up big time. That is going to be the driver side. Let's hop into it and I'll show you where they have made the mistake and why this car is the most uncomfortable car for the driver and why you should not buy it. The car is on. We'll go in. So to open the door, just put your hand behind this handle, and if it's locked, it will automatically open for you, and you're greeted with this beautiful design here. Design wise, this car gets 10 out of 10 from me. So you got all your window controls and the mirror controls here. With this button, you can make the mirror fold automatically when you lock the car. So this is really beautiful function right here. You got memory seats. So if you have two people using this car, they can set the seat for their favorite position, and as soon as you come in and press the button, see, the seat will start moving. So you can adjust it for your way. Let me press number 1 and you can see the seat moving the way you want it to be. So let's hop into it now. So I'm going to talk about this car starting from here. So if you are in any car, the basic thing, even if you go back to 2001, let's say 1999, if you are in North America, you need a sunglass holder, which is missing here. There is no sunglass holder in here. So that's one point which this car gets a minus from me. And then steering, I had no complaint about the steering. The steering works really fine. You don't get much of the feedback from the steering. This is nicely leather wrap steering. Now this also got the heated functionality, but the heated steering wheel button is located here. So if you're driving with the speed of 110, you always have to move your neck, take all the attention from the road, look down here, oh, let me press my heated steering wheel button, and you see, and you turn the steering on and off, and then you again focus on the road. And the heated steering part is only in this area. That's it. 1 and 2. This whole steering is not heated. if you are here in Canada, the winter is really hard, you need the heated steering wheel. Please make it completely heated. I don't know what's wrong with it not making it completely heated, but if you make it completely heated, it will be little useful. But now it is completely useless when you are turning the car in that cold winter in Canada. Also, that button, please move the, at least you can have it here where I can have a look at it. What's the point of having this button to control the illumination of my dash here, and having my heated steering wheel button right here where I can't even see it? What's the point? Useless design. Also, you see this steel material which they have used here. Sometimes, depending on the position of the sun and where you are driving, you get reflection in that area, and it's so hard, you can't even see what's in your mirror. And as I said, their useless blind spot monitoring system which is in this car, if you can't even see what's in your mirror, how you are supposed to judge what's in your blind spot? You have to do the blind spot check, and then this function is just nullified by. It's useless. That's pretty much. Also, let me get down and let me show you. The driver's seat doesn't go completely far, so if the position is not comfortable at all for me, if I have to move little back, it could have gone little further. So the problem which occurs, that's completely back. See, there is no space for my kids to move. That's the biggest flaw. And that's pretty much about this steering. You got all your, this is the easy control here. So if you wish to move anything, the controls are really easy. All the safety feature works as they're supposed to, except that blind spot monitoring which doesn't even beep. I want the beep. Like, I feel everyone who's using this, if at all you divert the attention and if it's not beeping, the accident is bound to happen. This is 10.5 or 12 inches of touch screen, which is really good. I'm just talking about the touch screen, okay? So you got your controls for your heated seat here, cold seat. You can see all your battery status here if you wish to see it. Your music can be accessed from here as well. Your fan can be accessed, and any other information you want to look as to how you are driving can be accessed from here. Let me put this in a backup reverse so you can see a backup camera. The backup camera is little grainy. You've got your guiding lines here. That's pretty much about the backup camera. Let's put this back into a parking, and moving down to the worst part of this Toyota Venza, this touchscreen. So anything you have to access, you have to push this touchscreen button. So let's say home. One time this hung up on me, and that was really bad. I was doing 110 on the highway, and this hung up. I couldn't even access a single thing. Couldn't even turn my audio off. I had to pull over, turn the car off, and then turn it back on. I was able to access all my feature. The worst thing in this Toyota Venza, they should have provided us with the some knob. This touchscreen is so useless. Say if I'm trying to access something here, by mistake I might press the home button, everything will come on the home. If I'm trying to do something with the screen, you don't even know, like if your fan is going up, every time you have to press, come up, press. You need to turn the temperature up. You'll keep looking all over the screen. Oh, where is the number going up? And then you realize, oh yeah, it's right here. The worst design they have chosen. .43 and the actual time is 2:07. Frozen Toyota screen. So moving down from the touch screen, another flaw in this car is this touch start and stop button. Usually if you are sitting in a car, the start and stop button which you automatically look is there, but they have the odometer or a trip reset button right there, and your power button is here. Eventually you get used to it, but the biggest problem because of this power button has created is this usable space is drastically reduced in this area. So for the showing purpose, let's see, my wallet is right here because there is no other place where I can leave my wallet in this car. So let me move this wallet away. I got a charging cable here for my headphone. So if the cable is right there, there is no way I can leave my phone there, right? And it's useless for me to have it's hidden here. Also, there, if you see here, there are two USB-A outlets, but there is no USB-C. And that button which you see, it's for the charger to turn it on or off. I don't know why you need to turn it on or off. That's their design. And your auto hold button, the placement of the button is not so great. You can use the complete EV mode if you wish to use it. And then when you come down, the gear knob is really beautiful, really good feeling for the knob. And let me move this stuff. So you got two decent size cup holder, and this is the worst flaw again. Let me show you. Nowadays why. Everyone has like a coffee cup. Sorry, why coffee cup? You have one sanitizer bottle in each car. Plus if you have a cup here, now I can easily access the gear knob. You can see here, I can easily access it. But imagine you have any coffee cup here. Let's see, even if I move it here, it's so hard for me to access the gear knob. Like, this is how am I supposed to access it? Like, it is the worst place to have your cup holder. You could have it on the side, you could have it anywhere, and the gear knob should have been shifted. This is really uncomfortable if you're in a rushing position and you want to try to move the stuff like back forth. It is the worst car if you have the two glasses here in your cup holder. Also, let me show you one more thing. See, this is going to be really funny. So if you have a longer glass, take this away and you can fit the longer glass. But if you don't want to keep a longer glass, you have to have this in. What's the purpose of that? I have no clue. Plus, even if I take that one out, this space is still so useless. I can't even access my gear knob. That is the pathetic man. Also, the blender just doesn't stop there. So usually if you have a blue light here for the cold seat, what would you assume these lights to be? Let's press it. They are green. And for heated seat, I am partially color blind, so let's say these are orange for me. But for me it's so hard. Like, if I press this, every time you have to check it. Just make it simple. Life, like, make it red for hot, make it blue for cold. Is it that hard? Starting here, you got your, this is the sliding thing. Your center armrest is a sliding thing. So what happens most of the time if you're trying to slide it, see, I didn't even turn it, but the heated seat or the cold seat got pressed and it is on. So if you want to leave something in here, the chances of that falling in the center console are really high. That's my bad, not the center console, the center armrest. So you got this tray for your change. I am not sure why they had to do this. They could have just made it a little flat, so I could have had my wallet here, some space to keep my wallet, and close this. But if I have my wallet in there, I can't even close it completely. So you take the wallet, you put it in the glass holder. Then you buy a coffee, you don't have a space, you leave it there. And then you don't have a space, you put it where? Throw it out in the garbage. What a nicely designed center area. What a comfortable seat for the driver. Plus, this center box is not deep, just to give you an idea. This bottle doesn't even fit there, or just to like see finger wise, it's 6 finger and maybe 6 inches, 3 inches by 6 inches and 6 inch deep. That's it. You got one 12-volt outlet here. That's pretty much about the power in that area. So let me close this. Let me put this useless thing in the back. Close it, and that's it about this beautiful looking center console, but the most useless thing in this Toyota Venza. So if you are at the light, this is the biggest blind spot in this car. Like you can't even see the cars which are approaching from this angle. So this is a major drawback if you are at the T intersection. 51,000 Canadian dollar is not going to be worth for this Toyota Venza. So if you are in the market looking for something which will give you value for your money, there are other options to choose from, like recently introduced Kia PHEV. There is also Santa Fe which is coming into a PHEV. Nissan Rogue has more space than this one, which I just reviewed. If you want, you can just have a look at that review here on the top. Also, the Ford Escape has more usable space. This is just a joke when you're looking at this car. The look wise, this is really bigger car, but the usable space in this car is not enough. So I hope I gave you better idea if you're looking for this Venza. If you like the review, please make sure you subscribe, give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. Your DD signing off.